If you visited the Meat Magazine YouTube channels, if there's one thing you should know, if there's one person, in the entertainment industry that I really don't care for, it's rapper The Game. But I'll get into that in a minute. Let me go ahead and read to you this article that was posted to the Jasmine Brand website. Now, they posted the article on Saturday, November 18th of 2016, and it's titled Exclusive. The Game jury reaches verdict against the rapper in $10 million sexual assault lawsuit. So the Jasmine Brand writes, the JasmineBrand.com exclusively reports The Game, real name Jason Taylor, was found liable for damages for a reality show contestant who accused the rapper of sexual assault in her $10 million lawsuit, with the jury reaching a verdict in favor of the plaintiff after 4 days of court testimony. Here's the latest. The case went to trial, and the jury began hearing both parties' testimony on November 14th. The rapper and Priscilla Rainey fought nasty over the months prior to the trial, with him accusing her of having spent time in a mental institution and allegedly working as a prostitute, and her blasting him for making such allegations. Then, after 4 days of trial, the jury reached a verdict in the case. The decision was against The Game and in favor of Rainey. The amount of damages The Game will have to pay in the case have not been made public in the case, and it will either be determined at a separate court hearing, or the jury's decision on the monetary aspect of the case has yet to be filed in the case. Here's the backstory. A woman named Priscilla Rainey, who was a contestant on the VH1 dating reality show She's Got Game, filed suit against rapper The Game for $10 million back in August. That's August of 2015 for the record. Rainey explained that she shot the show in May of this year. She said one night she was led to believe it was mandatory to go on an after-hours date with the rapper. However, the woman claimed that she was taken to a local bar in Illinois where The Game was out of control and highly intoxicated on drugs and alcohol. She said that during the night, The Game sexually assaulted her on several occasions, including him forcefully reaching his hand inside her dress to rub her bare vagina and buttocks. Excuse me for saying that so crazy. Her bare vagina and buttocks. The contestant explained she never gave him permission to touch her, and she felt degraded by the sexual assault. The woman filed the $10 million suit, saying she suffered physical, psychological, and emotional damages due to the rapper's actions. The Game fired back at the woman suing him and accused her of lying about being sexually assaulted by him during filming of his reality show. The rapper denied that he was highly intoxicated on alcohol and drugs on the night in question, or that he assaulted Rainey. He demanded her entire lawsuit be thrown out of court. Then the Jasmine Brand posted some actual receipts, from court documents or whatever from Illinois. But anyways, shout out to the Jasmine Brand for this exclusive information. They get real exclusives. You see, that fuckboy Meat Magazine is not really a blogger. He's just an asshole with a microphone. That's why he has to read the Jasmine Brand story to you and give his weak opinion on it, because he's not a real blogger. He's just an asshole with a microphone. But anyways, at least I'm not an asshole going around sexually assaulting women. Allegedly. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But let me tell you something now. All the bitches and hoes are real mad right now. In the comment sections, online and everything, you tell one of these black or mixed women that love them some thugs, love them a murderer, love them a killer, love them a gang member, love them a drug dealer. They just love trashy men. Basically the image that he put out there in his music of who he is. I'm not accusing him of being anything that he said he is in his music. I'm just saying that's what these bitches and hoes like. They're up there defending The Game. They're slandering Priscilla Rainey's name. It's so funny. Pause the story right there. Pause my commentary. I just remember something. The Jasmine Brand didn't mention this. I could have sworn that he said that Priscilla Rainey was a tranny. I could have sworn. I'm not accusing him of it, but if my memory serves me correctly, he called her a transsexual, which she's not. She's a natural born woman. Okay? But anyways, so basically, the bitches and hoes that love guys like what The Game depicted himself as being in his music are mad as a motherfucker right now. Basically, all the failure bitches. All the failure whores who didn't really do anything in their lifetime, haven't really accomplished shit. You laid up under thugs. You did your drugs. You haven't accomplished shit in your life. Going to school doesn't count. That's not an accomplishment. But the bitches and hoes that haven't done a goddamn thing with their lives other than suck and fuck and get high and just try to get by are really upset. They're crying. They're like, oh, how could this happen to the game? That's my thug. That's my thug ninja. He harms black men to entertain bitches and hoes like me. And I just think it's funny that they're siding with him, knowing this guy's track record. I mean, when somebody threatens you with a lawsuit, you don't go online talking about they're a tranny or saying anything else. What you do is you shut the fuck up. Because this is what I said from the beginning. If you go back and you listen to if you type in Meat Magazine, The Game, Priscilla Rainey, and you watch the videos that I made starting in 2015 when this shit started to pop off, I said Game needs to shut the fuck up. He needs to let his lawyers handle it. Shut up. Stop posting stuff on social media about this woman. Stop talking about her. Let your lawyers eat the case like a box of Twinkies, like he said they were going to. Remember he said that shit? Didn't he say his lawyer's going to eat the case like a box of Twinkies? If my memory serves me correctly, he said that. And well, it looks like he's eating the fucking case. Because all he had to do was shut the fuck up. And he just may have won the case. Now, I don't know whether or not they posted any video, evidence or anything like that. I don't know how many witnesses came forward and said they saw this and that. I don't know whether or not there was any surveillance camera footage. I don't know whether or not there was any actual physical proof that it happened. It may have just all been accusations. I'm not saying that Priscilla told the truth. I'm not saying that he told the truth. I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm not saying that he's lying. All I'm saying to you is this: he should have shut up when he had the chance to. Now it's too late. He might as well run his fucking mouth now, because he already lost the case. And I highly doubt that she's going to get 10 million for that. It's not like he penetrated her with his penis, especially anally. Now, if he would have anally raped her, she'd be for being vulgar. I'm a Priscilla Rainey fan. I don't want to think about anything bad happening to her. I'm just using this as an example. If he did something as extreme as that to her, and there were witnesses, especially if there's any sort of camera footage, first of all, he would serve time in jail, and he just might have to give up the whole 10 million or at least 5. I really wouldn't be surprised if they're going to give her $50,000, shake her hand and tell her to have a nice day. Maybe even 100,000, maybe even $1 million, maybe even 2 million. There is a possibility. However, I highly doubt that she would get any more than $2 million. And since the jury deliberated or whatever for 4 days, I highly doubt she'll get any less than 50 to 100 grand. In fact, I would say more than likely, she's probably getting, just my personal assessment, she'll get somewhere between 100 racks and 2 million maximum. I don't think she'll get. They might go down to 50. I doubt they're going to go down any lower than that, because they talked about it for 4 freaking days. They put a lot of energy into it. But anyways, man, so it looks like the jury found him guilty, right? So why would any woman sit back and say, hey, I blame her and I just don't believe this? I mean, what is Jayceon's behavior been over the years? Let me see. He videotapes himself punching 40 Glock until he bleeds and posts it on the internet. Then when 40 Glock goes to court and sues him, he talks shit because Game has a big fucking mouth. He does not know how to shut the fuck up. When people were suing you, I don't know why his lawyers... Listen, if I was the Game's lawyer, if I was his attorney or whatever, I would tell him flat out, straight up, I'm not fucking with you, man. You talk too goddamn much. This is court. This isn't the streets. Shut the fuck up. Let me do the job and you just be quiet. Put a muzzle on it. God damn. I'd be like, look, Twitter fingers, if you can't stop typing, then what you need to do is put on a pan of hot oil and sit your fingertips in it for a couple seconds and burn your fucking fingertips. So then that way, every time you try to get your Twitter fingers on, you just stop yourself. You need to remind yourself to shut up. Don't make any videos. Don't be typing any comments about this shit. Stay off the internet right now. Be low-key, Game. Lay low. Because whatever you're saying could potentially come up in court and be used against you. I wonder whether or not they brought up the alleged tranny slander. Because if I'm not mistaken, he said that. I'm not saying he definitely did. Somebody refresh my memory. Did he or did he not say that this woman was a damn tranny? But anyways, all the bitches and hoes, see, because I'm not talking about regular old women here. I'm talking about you nasty, disgusting bitches and hoes that want to say that he's innocent and she's guilty. How the fuck do you know? And you say, well, you said no, I never said that. I always said, hey, I don't really know what happened. I'm just saying, judging by his disgusting behavior, him videotaping himself beating on 40 Glock, he was fingering allegedly. I'll just say allegedly because I didn't see a finger go inside the vagina. he appeared to be fingering India Love Westbrooks in the park, his at the time 19-year-old girlfriend. Remember those pictures on the internet? I reposted them on my blog. So if you're fingering girls at the park, being caught by paparazzi or whoever took those pictures, and then, you know, you're videotaping yourself brutally beating on 40 Glock. You know, I'm just going by what I've seen this guy do. You know, we all know what he's capable of, which is destruction. So who's to say that he's innocent in this case? I mean, we've seen him act a plumb fool over and over again, threatening people. He said that Meek Mill was definitely going to get it when he sees him. He said, you know, he's not calling off the beef. He stays in some beef. He was beefing with Stevie J at one point. His manager was threatening him. And his manager punched stitches. I mean, this dude stays in some bullshit. So all you bitches and hoes out there that want to defend this guy, you deserve a guy just like the game. I know what you're thinking. Ooh, I would like to fuck a guy like that. He goes out and he harms men. That's attractive to me. I know, bitches and hoes. The only thing I'm telling you is this. You see, you want a man that you can control, who's out of control when it comes to other men, but won't do anything to you because you don't really care about other men. You think that it's funny. You think that it's attractive to see men fight and argue and destroy each other for your entertainment, right? Right, bitches and hoes? But then when the game does something to a bitch or a hoe like you, then you want to get upset about it. But fuck you. You don't matter. We know this guy doesn't have good impulse control. We know that he's completely out of fucking control. We know that he can't control his emotions. Bitch made emotions. So why the fuck are y'all acting like you're surprised if he did do this? Once again, I'm not saying he did, but if he did, you would have to be one dumb bitch or hoe to be surprised. Because his track record says, what do they say? A person's past actions are the best way to determine what they're gonna do in the future. And his track record is fucking up. So all you bitches and hoes, once again, I'm not talking to regular old women, but you bitches and hoes that are defending the game and slandering Priscilla Rainey's name, you're a joke. And you deserve a guy like that. In other words, hey, you like guys like that? Whatever the fuck happens to you is whatever the fuck happens to you. You know? You want to defend negative people with their negative behaviors, going out here being destructive, and then when some shit like this happens, some accusations like this, people want to act surprised. Well, bitches and hoes want to act surprised. They're like, I couldn't imagine him doing this. He's an angel. He's a wonderful person. You know what type of man the game is. It's just you bitches and hoes get surprised when they do some shit to you. You know, you want to be able to control them so then that way they don't harm a female. But as long as they're harming other men, killing other men, you bitches and hoes don't care. Y'all love you some thugs, don't you? Well, deal with it. Anyways, congratulations to Priscilla Rainey for winning her case. You know, and fuck you to the bitches and hoes that are defending the game. Defending him as if you know for sure these are these Black Lives Matter type bitches. You know what I mean? Not the slogan, I mean the organization. You know, if a black man gets harmed with some sketchy shit, like if he's seemingly a criminal, they'll defend him. Because you didn't really see Black Lives Matter say too much about Tamir Rice, did you? The 12-year-old boy who was shot by the police. Nah, they were worried about the guy who was accused of robbing the store, or the guy who was accused of this or accused of that. But somebody who was clearly innocent, you know, a little boy, he didn't really hear too much from them about it. It was none of their business. I'm just saying, pay attention. These bitches and hoes love them a thug. Well, unless the thug goes upside their fucking head, then it's an issue. Selfish bitches and hoes. But anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Oh, by the way, if you leave stupid comments talking shit about me, I'll just delete your comments and block you. I really don't have time for the bullshit. This is about the game of Priscilla Rainey and their lawsuit. This video is not about me. So if you have something nasty to say about me, I'll just block you. I'll just delete your comment. Or how about this? I'll just set the comment section off. Because I know that the bitches and hoes are going to lose their minds when they hear this. They're going to be really offended. It's going to affect their non-soul. Not their soul, but their non-soul, because bitches and hoes don't have souls. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine, Meat Magazine 7 on Google+, and Meat Magazine blog on Instagram.